It's the first time she's ever introduced me. How many people here are teachers? How many people have spouses? Children? Led project teams? Have a role in your church? I wasn't keeping good track, but I suspect almost everyone raised their hand. I know there's a club president over here. How many of you wish to lead yourselves? I didn't see a lot of hands there. That's kind of worrisome. We are all leaders. How good a leader we are, well, that depends. And we better be leading ourselves instead of everybody else telling us what to do. So there's 3 handouts here. I've organized this little session into 4 pieces. Strangely enough, one side of the first 2 handouts has each of the 4 pages, each of the 4 sessions. It's interactive, so if something's not clear, wad up a sheet of paper, throw it at me, raise your hands, ask questions, because this is not really a lecture, this is a discussion.
I can pass them around. Raise your hand.
So let's start with what's called situational leadership. Now, way before I met my wife, I was in school and I dated a gal who was a twin sister. Now, Cindy and her sister looked the same, they sounded the same, they finished each other's sentences. There was a really, really important difference. Cindy liked me, the other one didn't. Message. Even when a situation looks the same to you, you might want to consider a different style, a different leadership style. And to walk us through that, I'm going to need 2 volunteers. It's okay, it's not going to hurt. Come on up. Need 1 more. There, okay. And your name?
Terry.
Terry. You can stand roughly here.
Bill.
Bill. You can stand over here. Now, I'm a leader. Terry and Bill are 2 of my followers. Now, Terry, I'm sorry, but I'm going to use the dictating style with you, which means I'm going to always be in her face, always telling her what to do, how to do it, and every possible detail I can think of, because I don't want you to think. And Bill, I'm going to use the delegating style with you,
Bless you, sir.
which means you sink or swim. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to put you in the toughest possible situation with no help, no guidance, no direction.
Getting information?
Of course not. I'm delegating. Now, have you already noticed that there's kind of 2 sets of problems here? And whether you like this style or that style, sometimes is relayed by what words you used. Dictate, delegate, do it yourself, sink or swim. So all of these 2 styles, they can both be described in positive and negative words. Now, let's assume for a moment that you don't know anything about first aid. If I toss you into that situation and you know nothing, what's going to happen?
Somebody's going to die.
Someone's going to die. Is this a good outcome?
No.
Now, we've never seen anything like sink or swim at work, have we? No, we've never seen anything like that. In the 31 years I was at the INL, I never saw anything like that. Now, even if you know 10 times more than I do, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do the task that I dream up for you to do. How's that going to make you feel?
Well, I probably will fight back a little bit.
You might.
Yeah.
What might you say?
I might have some ideas of my own to add to it.
But if I'm the big bad boss,
Then I'll probably do what you want.
you're going to do what you do. Am I going to get her best performance? Am I going to get the advantage of her knowledge? Her creativity? Her spirit? Her soul?
And what should you?
And why should I? I'm the boss, right? So here's the two extremes. Situational leadership says, number one, figure out the situation. That means, what's the experience of the leader? What's the experience of the performer? How urgent is it? What are the consequences if you get it wrong? Basically, everything you know about the situation, and then you adapt. Now, if all we have at our disposal are two options, I can bounce back and forth. You see this sometimes in the bring me a rock exercise. Well, I tell Bill, go do this task, bring me back a rock. I told him nothing more than I want a rock. So he comes back with a green rock. Why did you bring me a green rock instead of a purple rock? Why did you do that?
You said a rock.
But you're supposed to read my mind. And here, I'm going to tell her every possible thing about that rock. She's not going to find the exact rock that I told her that I wanted. And even if she does, once I see it, I probably realize it's the wrong rock either. Again, this has never happened at work, school, or church, or anything, right? So we have to fill in the gap between these two sides, between these two extremes. So take a look at the following steps. Do it my way. Why don't you do it my way? Consider my ideas. What are your ideas? Will that approach of yours have the desired effect? Do you think your idea will work? Do it however you want. Do you notice that spectrum? You can pick your own words. Also notice that it's only at the extremes was it a declarative statement. Do it, do it. Everything else was a question. Because everything other than the two extremes, I'm trying to start a dialogue where I ask a question. In this case, it's a very leading question on this side of the spectrum. On this side of the spectrum, it's more open in terms of its answer. But I'm trying to create some connection, because instead of just tossing something, I'm trying to support my team. So I'm not trying to wrap it up in some mystery. I'm not trying to dictate, but I'm trying to engage the person according to what I assess is their status between those two extremes. Now, if I ask a question, say here, and Terry comes back and says, oh, I know this, 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 and this, I'm going to figure out she knows more than I thought. So my next question is going to be here. I will adjust as I get more information. If on the other hand I ask a question to Bill and he looks at me like I've kind of lost it and I don't know where to find it anymore, then I might recalibrate on this side. So I'm always looking for where people are on the task. Now, Bill might know nothing about first aid, but he might know everything about accounting. So I have to always remember, no one's an expert on everything. So you have to figure out on a given task, where are your people? And the final part of situational leadership is that you want to move your people from this side to here. You want to move people in your club, Jody, or your people in your church, or wherever you are, if you're a teacher. You want them to know more and to be more independent of you over time. That, among other things, lets you escape and go to the next task, the next project, the next whatever it is. So Terry, if you would like to take my arm.
Oh, okay.
So a leader leads, and leads their people to becoming independent of them, so that over time, I can run away. Not that I'm running away real fast, but they don't need me anymore. They've built up the experience, the confidence to take care of whatever the task is. Then it'll be their turn to lead in the future. Do you have any questions?
No, I would think once we got more confidence, then we could always talk with you and it could be interaction all the time.
Absolutely. So that's why you have my card, my email address, and you can always find me. But over time, if I'm doing my job right as a leader, I'm adapting to the situation, and you need less and less of me as you've completed this journey. Any questions from everybody else? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.